Hello everyone, my name is Jin and welcome to my archive. Today, I'll be providing a summary of Wuthering Waves 2.2 main story quest. There might be my personal thoughts added as we go through the story. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other videos. Anyways, let's begin. The story starts in Elga Town where Rover meets Sakona. Sakona is a bard sent by Cartethyia to use her forte to recreate the frequency of the time Rover met Cartethyia. She needs details of the scene she's trying to recreate and uses her forte through her lute. However, something unexpected occurred during the forte, and instead of recreating the scene, Cartethyia was pulled into it as well and was able to converse with Rover once more. From Cartethyia, Rover learned that she herself does not know if she is the resonator of the Sentinel or not. Her memories are fragmented and she only remembers becoming a resonator, given the name Fleur-de-Lis, and fighting something. Abby joined the conversation and smelled a scent of the Thenodian on Cartethyia. This made her believe that she's the Thenodian's resonator. Rover, being optimistic, believes that Cartethyia is currently affected by the Thenodian's power during their battle alongside Imperator. The conversation continues as Cartethyia revealed that currently she is just a frequency and her true form resides in an inverted sonorosphere. That sonorosphere is suspended high in the sky. At the center was a tower locked by 3 seals and a voice calling out to her behind it. This sonorosphere is the inverted tower Imperator told Rover about in 2.0. Cartethyia then continued that there is a part of the tower on land. However, there is a barrier that prevents people from entering and leaving. The barrier acts as an energy source for the tower. If destroyed, it will collapse, falling out of the sky, crashing down to Ragunna. A previous person tried to enter the tower, but the only distinct feature that Cartethyia gave Rover was that she's a female resonator resembling a deep-sea jellyfish. Waking up from Sakona's forte, Rover recounted their experience to Sakona before being given an invitation to meet the head of the Thessalia by a butler. Rover accepted. Hearing this, Sakona warned Rover and told them some rumors they heard regarding the head of the Thessalia. To sum it up, she's a recluse, not seen by many in public, a master manipulator with hallucination powers, a poison-making lover that poisoned her predecessor to get her current position. Don't know how, but Rover believes that Sakona's description of the head of the Thessalia and Cartethyia's description of the resonator match, and it's who they're looking for. Rover heads toward Porto Veno Castle to speak to the head of the Thessalia, Cantarella Thessalia. Cantarella starts the conversation off with an apology for her family's transgression against Rover and hopes to request Rover to serve as a mediator. However, before Rover agrees, they want a clear explanation on the family's belief and standing. Cantarella reveals that the Thenodian invasion of Ragunna has long concluded, meaning that the Thenodian is already inside Ragunna. The Thenodian, the Leviathan, possess the ability to merge and assimilate, and uses distorted beliefs to spread spiritual plague that slowly devours civilization from within. Sounds like the Order, doesn't it? The previous 2 dark tides have been thwarted, and the Thessalias know the truth regarding the Order's belief. The Thenodian doesn't take kindly to that and have been plaguing their family's mind for decades. Cantarella takes Rover to a secret room, willing to reveal everything and requesting that Rover carefully consider the request that she will make. In the secret room, a statue of the true form of the Sentinel, a majestic steed that gallops through the wind, resides. Seeing the statue, Rover had a reaction. This tells us that the half-horse and half-sea creature is the form the Sentinel assumed after being corrupted by Leviathan. Cantarella's request is for Rover to persuade Joya to come to Renacita and save Imperator. But Rover had to refuse as Joya is still recovering. Rover believes that even without Joya, there is still a path forward and explains that the stained glass they saw with Carlotta in 2.0, saying that the Blessed Maiden, if they find her, can resolve this. Hearing Rover's explanation, Cantarella explains to Rover that the Sentinel does appoint a maiden to be their resonator, but not through the Carnival, but through residence with Turvin, the Sword of Divinity. Turvin is sealed with the power of the Sentinel, the power to manipulate and split space. The selected resonator would wield this artifact. However, they would not be able to get assistance from the Blessed Maiden because the maiden is already dead. The Phasalia family has divine trials for selected young women to resonate with Turvin, while overclocked to achieve the second resonance awakening. When they do, they lose bits of their memories and get a glimpse of the truth regarding the Sentinel and the Order. Cantarella underwent the same trial and got a glimpse of the Sentinel's corrupted form, the inverted tower, and that Turvin can break the barrier of the Sonarosphere. After waking up from the vision, a message was written on her hand. The maiden is dead. Cantarella doesn't know the nature of Cartethia's resonance and believes that it might be tied to the Leviathan or the Sentinel's corrupted form, because of the knowledge that the Blessed Maiden is already dead. To confirm what Cantarella was saying, Rover needs to take a look at Turvin. If there was a reaction, it would mean that Rover is also Arbiter of Imperator and everything Cantarella said is true. When the sword was pulled out, Cantarella questions Rover's identity. Rover revealed that they are the Imperator's Arbiter and retell the conversation they recently had with Cartethyia. Hearing this, Cantarella formally requests Rover to help rescue Imperator. Rover accepts and follows her to the Sonarosphere known as Avenolium. On the way to Avenolium, Cantarella revealed some details of herself. First, regarding the rumors. Cantarella isn't actually a recluse. She travels a lot to search for a solution to Imperator's plight and rarely remains in Renacita. At her stop in Huanglong, she met a friend in Mingting who introduced her to stories of Rover. Her friend is someone where all the affairs of Huanglong State eventually lands. I'm guessing it's Changli. The other rumors, however, she confirmed were true. Because the Phasalia lives under the Renodians' whispers, it's family tradition for the successor to usher the head into eternal slumber when their soul is corrupted. To do so, they feed the head a poison of their own making. Avenolium is a seminary built by the Order when the Blessed Maiden was crowned. It disappeared into the sky along with the second dark tide. Arriving at the barrier, Rover used Turvin to pass it. When they crossed, Rover saw a vision of 3 swords and the center tower. Cantarella was surprised that Cartethyia has not changed since she last saw her when she was younger. The two are supposed to be around the same age. Seeing Turvin, Cartethyia tried to resonate with it but was unable to. This further strengthens her belief that she is the Renodian's resonator. However, Rover assures her that it doesn't prove anything and it doesn't mean that she helped the Renodian. With doubts in her heart, Cantarella encouraged Cartethyia as the 3 headed towards the main parts of the tower. To unlock the 3 seals of the center tower, they needed to put all 3 swords into their respective pedestal. The first pedestal that holds Turvin resides in the Tower of Salvation. Since the gondola Faom can only hold 2 people, Rover and Cartethyia rode ahead together. Cartethyia then went back for Cantarella after the path was cleared. In the Tower of Salvation, placing Turvin in the pedestal unlocked the vision of the Blessed Maiden's coronation.
No longer shall you bear these thorns as a reminder. Forged from primordial seas, this crown shall grant a new identity. Fleur-de-lis, child of divinity, the Immaculate One, will you uphold the sacred teachings of the Order of the Deep?
I will.
Salvation, unity, ascension. Of these 3 doctrines, which do you choose?
I choose salvation. I wish to be the Master's blade, striking evil, upholding virtue, and offering salvation to those in peril.
In the name of divinity, I bestow upon you this crown. May the blood of justice never run dry. Through this sacred rite, you become the bridge between the heavens and the living. From this day forward, you shall be the Master's sole receiver and herald. Rise, blessed maiden, fleur-de-lis. None but the Master shall ever have the right to command you to bend the knee.
After waking up from the vision, a giant ball of energy from the Sentinel entered Rover's tacit mark. The Sentinel's energy is given to the person who holds Turvin, entrusting them with the power to fight against the corruption of the Donodian. It was supposed to go to the Blessed Maiden, but it went to Rover instead. Discussing what happened, it turns out that Rover and Cartethyia had similar visions, but Cartethyia witnessed the Dark Tide and Rover didn't. Cartethyia, however, saw fragmented images belonging to other places in Avenolium. Talking with Abby, it seems that it couldn't consume the ball of energy because it's being mixed up with something else. The group decided to stay the night to wait out the storm. Cartethyia woke up early to try and sneak off to handle other matters regarding the vision she saw previously. However, she was caught and explained herself before taking Turvin with her. For the next unsealing, Rover and Cartethyia needed Hogness, the Sword of Discord. To unlock the seal, Hogness needed to be placed in the pedestal in the Tower of Unity. During the journey to the Tower of Unity, Cartethyia continued to doubt herself and who she is. Rover reassured her again, saying,
"In the end, no matter what anyone else says, as long as you stay true to yourself, everything will be alright."
With Hogness in the pedestal of the Tower of Unity, a second vision was shown.
Fleur-de-lis, my resonator, why dost thou persist? Why abandon thy oath? Why hinder the spread of my gospel?
You are a false divinity. Gehenna will reveal the truth.
Gehenna, the lone dragon to have escaped. The one blessed by the dark tide shall return to us. Continue thy disobedience at the risk of insanity. Look around. Thou hast none left. My most beloved resonator, why persist in the error of thy ways?
I will never forget my cause. If divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against divinity. With the support and hope of countless souls, I stand before you. They fell, so I may rise!
After the vision ended, a Donodian's frequency entered Rover's tacit mark. Like the first, it was mixed up with something else. The vision unlocked more of Cartethyia's memories, allowing her to find her true self again. The question now arises, why did the energy of the Donodian split as well and was channeled into Hogness? Rover believes that Cartethyia is a resonator of the fusion of Imperator and Leviathan, and used her ability to split herself. The mixed frequency is from Cartethyia. However, Cartethyia denies this and believes that she doesn't have the ability to do so. The answer lies in the third seal. Resting for the night, Cartethyia was lost in thought, mourning her fallen friends. Rover reassured her that although they're no longer physically here, her feelings will reach them. When frequencies are concentrated in one place, the reverberation can still carry traces of human will, referencing Xiangling Yao's moment with Pascal. The two shared a touching moment, leaving a phrase regarding the lingering reverberations. Bound by obsession to relieve the duty, foreshadowing Cartethyia's final destination. The next morning, Rover and Cartethyia headed towards Haltir, the Sword of Virtue. It was a sword used by Cartethyia in the past. It is guarded by the lingering will of Cadanto, Cartethyia's first echo. Protecting Haltir and the Tower of Ascension, Cadanto was then freed from its duties by Rover, turning back into an echo. You may think this referenced the quote earlier, but it does not. With Haltir in the pedestal, the third seal was unlocked, and a big reveal was shown in a vision.
Fleur-de-lis, wilt thou return to me?
Someone must expose your lies.
As long as there is a sliver of hope, I will not give up.
Is that so? Then I shall reveal the truth. Fleur-de-Lis, why dost thou resonate with me?
What?
Why dost thou hear into the minds of the faithful? Why dost thou act as my oracle? All this, and yet thou dost not question.
Shut up!
The answer is this. Fleur-de-Lis, thou art my creation. I made thee, thy life, thy hopes, thy will, thy past. All that thou art, I made whole. I made perfect. I fed upon the trust, adoration, and longing heaped upon thee by the masses. Thy resonance brought forth the second dark tide.
The clashing frequency inside Rover's tacit mark calmed down, and Cartethyia started to remember everything. She then explained the current situation. Cartethyia was the one controlling the Sentinel and Thermodian's frequency. The being before Rover, known as Cartethyia, is a part she split from her original self that wanted to live when the second dark tide was unleashed. Cartethyia is the part of Fleur-de-Lis that chose to escape the Thermodian's grasp. Cartethyia was also the one that destroyed the Thermodian that took over the Sentinel's body, causing it to assimilate to Fleur-de-Lis, its resonator. Fleur-de-Lis is the part of Cartethyia that was left behind after the split. She is the one that retained the most power, fighting against the Thermodian, wishing for her own destruction. Fleur-de-Lis is still resisting the Thermodian's whispers and corruption till this day. She was the one who continued to split her power's frequency to buy time. The frequency needed a vessel. Cartethyia's memories were used and sealed in the sword alongside the power. Without her memories, Cartethyia has been searching for someone instinctively to deal with the false divinity, searching for someone to kill Fleur-de-Lis, the one that contains the Thermodian, putting an end to its existence for all time. Fleur-de-Lis and Cartethyia together make up the phrase, bound by obsession till relieved of duty. The person to do this is none other than Rover, the righteous one, who will relieve her of her duty. Cartethyia wants Rover to combine herself and Fleur-de-Lis back into one and put an end to both of them. This way, the Thermodian will cease to exist, trapped in a lifeless shell for eternity. However, Rover had a different idea.
I can't hold it any longer! Why are you doing this? Neither Cartethyia nor Fleur-de-Lis should continue to exist! Don't go.
I heard your request. But I prefer to handle this my way.
As Rover heads toward Fleur-de-Lis, Cartethyia took the time to reaffirm her resolve. As she was about to follow Rover, Cantarella stopped her. She gave Cartethyia Turvan, infused with the Sentinel's power scattered throughout the Sonarosphere from the divine trials of the Phasalia family. When asked if Cantarella's sacrifice is inside Turvan as well, her answer was shocking.
Does it also hold the sacrifice you made?
No, my sacrifice was used up long ago. At the time I resonated with the Sentinel, I saw you through their distorted eyes. Or rather, I saw Fleur-de-Lis battling the Threnodian. In that moment, I made a sacrifice that would shift the balance of power.
Was it?
The energy I received from the Sentinel's second awakening. I split it from myself and offered it back to the Sentinel so they could, for a moment, regain control of their body. Only by doing this could Fleur-de-Lis seize the moment to kill the already tainted Sentinel. So, the real Blessed Maiden is dead. But there is no reason why the false Blessed Maiden cannot herself become the true Blessed Maiden, is there?
With Turvan in hand, Cartethyia bid Canterella farewell and head towards Rover. The battle against Fleur-de-Lis begins, but Rover wasn't strong enough and was detained. Cartethyia saved them from a fatal blow.
You would betray yourself.
No! This is not betrayal!
A person of true character should never be defined by an inanimate blade. Both you and I were cursed to be mere playthings of the Threnodian. But that doesn't mean we cannot reshape our fate.
In the end, no matter what anyone else says, as long as you stay true to yourself, everything will be all right.
This is me being true to myself!
Imperators? No. Your own power. Useless.
As long as I can save the person in front of me, I am not useless! No retreat! At least, right, damn it! Everything. How could this be? Again, I failed. I'm sorry. And I walk down the glory path. This warm light must not fade. Take my power, my blessings, my past. Seek out a future where I am your blade. We'll find it together. Righteous one.
future, where I am your blade, we'll fight it together.
Frequency in her body is already...
Arbiter, despair not, for all is not lost.
If you want to watch the entire finale again, please check it out on the Wuthering Waves official YouTube channel, Wuthering Waves Story Cinematic, The Ending She Desired. Let me give you a summary of the conversation between Rover and Imperator. In the past, the two had a pact where Rover tasked Imperator to uncover the true nature of the Donodian. Imperator requested the ability to act freely to complete this task. As a last-ditch effort, Imperator believed that by merging with the Donodian, it would be able to comprehend it. It learned that the Donodian cannot die if civilization exists, and even the Donodians themselves don't know how to destroy themselves. The Donodian learned about resonators from Imperator. However, Imperator concealed the fact that being such a stem can only possess a single resonator. Think of it like a universal law that must not be broken or you will face an unavoidable punishment. When Leviathan made Fleur-de-Lis his resonator, she also became Imperator's resonator. Turvin was a failsafe Imperator placed in the scenario that Fleur-de-Lis fell to Leviathan's corruption. If a second resonator binds to Imperator, it would shatter that universal law, destroying the frequencies of Imperator, Leviathan, and Fleur-de-Lis. However, Cartethyia chose a different path, a path of hope. By giving the power of the second resonance awakening to Imperator, it allowed Imperator to briefly regain control and compel Fleur-de-Lis to strike the corrupted form, causing Leviathan to assimilate to Fleur-de-Lis as she keeps it back, waiting for her own destruction. In its remaining moments, Imperator wishes to speak to Cartethyia. It will use the lingering frequencies in Rover's tacit mark and itself as a conduit to revive her, exchanging its life for hers. Bidding Rover farewell, Imperator left a few words for them to pass on to the Thessalia family. From this day forth, you are free. Waking Cartethyia, Imperator gave her the option of erasing her memories if she so wishes. However, she refused. She would rather suffer the painful memories because they give her strength and made her who she is. She wishes to be true to herself. With the resurrection of Cartethyia, we bear witness to Fleur-de-Lis, the false blessed maiden, but the paladin of humanity who won against the false divinity. The story of 2.2 concludes with Cartethyia promising to be stronger than Rover so that if Rover suffers a similar fate in the future, she would be able to save them. Rover went to Cartethyia at Portoveno Castle and delivered Imperator's last words. There they received Blood Pact's pledge, a symbol of the unbreakable pact between Rover and the Thessalia family. How did you like the 2.2 story? I, myself, was completely captivated. The beginning was a bit slow, but the payoff was so worth it. If I was recording my reaction, there would be a lot of gas and yapping about the lore. I really like how much depth they put into Cartethyia's character. They also made me really like Cartethyia, and that rogue pull at the finale had me thinking they were actually going to kill her because there's no banner for her as of writing the script. There were also some little details that I missed when I was rewatching my recording, and that will be another video. I'm looking forward to the next main story's direction, as we will have the Order, Praxedis, and possibly Leviathan to still worry about. Because the Donodians can't die, if civilization endures. I hope you liked the summarization of the 2.2 story. That being said, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. If you have anything you want me to take a look at, let me know in the comments below. This is Jin checking out. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.